Hi guys, today we're going to be seeing what would happen if every former USSR state that isn't currently part of that wasn't not including Russia, of course, everything but Russia. We're going to see what happens if every single one of those countries just united. So yeah, let's begin. So this is a very unlikely thing to happen. And all the countries in the world are just like, what? Why? Why? Why on earth? Like, how did this happen? So, but then the unification starts to be realized, and yeah. So they want to start expanding. Their main end goal is to eventually connect. Whether they have two options, either go from the Balkans to Turkey and then Iran, so then they'll connect, or just invade Russia. Well, can't tell you what's going to happen. That's for the end. But let's see. So to start, they want some nice weak countries to begin their expansion movement. They decide to invade Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Bulgaria. And they've sent a lot of troops, and they're fully mobilized, and they begin to push into Romania, Slovakia, and Hungary. And Bulgaria is sending many troops. Their main goal in Romania is just to capture the capital, and they're getting close to that goal. Same with with Hungary and Slovakia, and they're pushing deeper and deeper in. After ferocious battle here, the Hungarians are able to protect their capital and just push back a little, and all and happens all over the front. And Romania is even able to push a little bit into the unification of former USSR states. And but then they do the red team does an encirclement movement. They capture all the coast of Romania, so push into Bulgaria a little bit, and they squeeze all the troops out. They keep pushing in. The capital of Hungary is taken. I believe it's there. And Hungary decides to surrender. The capital of Slovakia is then taken as well, and Romania and Bulgaria are the only ones who stand. After a couple of months of fierce fighting, the red team is able to make a breakthrough, and now not Bulgaria, Romania pretty much has no hope, and Bulgaria is starting to be invaded a lot. And in the end, the capital is taken, and Romanian troops surrender, but they go into Bulgaria. And now Bulgaria is the last one. They take the coast of Bulgaria. They begin to push in deeper and deeper into the country till Bulgaria gets as much soldiers as possible, makes a big punch, and recaptures the capital of Romania. But that was all of his soldiers, basically, and then they're cut off, and the rest of Bulgaria is left pretty much defenseless. This part surrenders, and the troops here decide to surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty, which should be pretty obvious. And yeah, so it's full annexation, as you guys guessed, full annexation. If you've watched my channel, you would know that I love doing full annexation. But yeah, so let's see what happens. So after this, after 5 months to 6 months of retraining and gathering and buying supplies, they decide that they're confident enough to invade Iran. Tense music playing, and they have two fronts to Iran. And yeah, let's see what happens. So at first, their main plan is to get a three-pronged attack here, get a navy landing here, push from here, push from here, and just try and obliterate Iran. So the troops here know there's a lot of mountains here, I believe. So they go around that, and they push in from here, but this is as far as they can get. And here there's not as much mountains, so they make a broadened push into Iran, but the main focus, they have a spearhead here. I don't know where Iran's capital is, but yeah, probably search that up. Anyway, and then the naval landings, they are able to land here, and then the two fronts connect, and they begin their main push into Iran. After a couple of battles, they're able to push Iran totally from their borders, and now it's just a big push into Iran. Now, Iran's military is not going to go up without a fight, so let's see what Iran is going to do. So, Iran is able to push back from here and make sure that everything is safe. And this is a big punch with their military. They cut off the two fronts, which was their main objective. And yeah, but of course, this isn't going to last too long. But oh, I just realized where the capital of Iran is. It's Tehran, and apparently it's around here. So they recapture their capital, and yeah. But after a two-pronged attack here, they encircle the troops, and they capture the capital, make sure it's under siege, and they keep pushing into Iran. And Iran is just like, we need to get those nukes. They encircle the troops here, and they kill them all, or they surrender. And they cut off the border of Iran with Iraq. And it's just not looking too good. Capture some of the coast here with the oil and stuff. And, or the Persian Gulf, if you will. And, no, that's here. This is the coast. You know what I mean. And then Iran has no choice but to eventually surrender. Let's look at this interesting peace treaty. And here is the peace treaty. And Iran here, its capital has been taken, and it's not doing too hot. It still has lots of oil reserves, but other than that, it becomes a puppet state of this new country, of former USSR states. And their original plan of these states was to connect by invading Russia, get a little bit of revenge. But Turkey decides to declare war on all these countries. Well, one united country now. And these countries were mobilizing here, and they weren't prepared for this at all. So Turkey is able to push a little bit from here, and they start. And since this is a very rebellious group, it's pretty easy going. And yeah, this part doesn't. It's when they start going up here that they start to capture more resistance. And Turkey also begins to push in from here into this Caucasus area, take over a lot of the former country of Georgia, and they also start invading a little bit into former Iran because they know it's going to be very rebellious. But they're not on Turkey's side, but it's better than being under this one country, so they join it, the rebels. And yeah, Turkey is able to make huge gains really quickly and even cut off these fronts and start even invading that, make it almost non-existent. But until it comes into a standstill, Turkey's main goal is to capture Kiev here, make sure all these are taken over, and just makes two big buffer states. And they want to capture Kiev because that's probably going to be the capital of this new country. And yeah, they're eventually stopped. All the troops that were here are now getting there, and since it's a lot of troops, they make a nice naval landing here, and they unite their fronts once again, start to push back to the Turkish military, and the logistics of Turkey are overstretched, so they can't really do anything, and the forces start retreating from here, and it's not looking too good. They push them back here, and Turkey starts to lose its foothold in the east. But in the west, they have their military is still holding strong because it's a very rebellious group still, and even though they're being pushed back, they're holding up the line and making sure that they don't cross into the Turkish homeland. But on the other side, all the Turkish troops, since they're fighting a double front war, it's not doing too good for them, and they start evacuating to protect the capital and retreating. So a lot of eastern Turkey here is just falling under the new might out into this country, and eventually a naval landing is made here, here, and here. They unite into a nice big front, and Turkey begins to crumble. And this front is almost pushed out, and they start pushing into the European part of Turkey. So, yeah, Turkey's not doing too good now. How the tables have turned. So, Turkey makes a defensive here, makes trenches as much as they can to stop the offensive here, and they're gonna try and protect the city, but if they can't, they're gonna explode all the bridges here and make sure that they can protect all this part of Turkey. And same with and they're gonna try and make a counteroffensive here. So they begin their counteroffensive, and it does a pretty good punch, separates the fronts. This front is almost removed, and they start pushing back the troops here. But to not too much progress. They're still in the Turkish lands. So, yeah, still not doing too good, Turkey, eh? So then, the troops start pushing into the European part because Turkey wasn't able to prepare fast enough. And after lots of big battles and months of fighting, they're able to take Istanbul, and they start pushing up into the Turkish mainland. And eventually, it unites with this front, and it makes one giant front in the northern part of Turkey, and Turkey starts to crumble again, and quickly they begin to retreat into other countries, hoping for safe refuge, and Turkey decides just to surrender. Let's look at this peace treaty. And here's the peace treaty. This is a plan that the former USSR states other than Russia that are united planned. That's a long name. But it works. So now they control a lot of the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Is that what this is called? Pretty sure. And yeah, now all the countries are connected. And it's probably one of the largest countries in the world. And the two puppet states it has is the Turkish puppet state right here. Unfortunately for Turkey, they couldn't keep their capital, Ankara, which is here. I searched that up. And same with Iran, they couldn't keep their capital, Tehran. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it's been made a puppet state over here. And yeah, it's just not looking too good for any country that was invaded by this big red country. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, like this country here that I can't figure out a name for. Smash all these other countries, no offense. And have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye!